Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, a Chinese firm recommends plans for Dominica's new national hospital to be taken back to the drawing board. Trade unions call for greater unity amid concerns that some workers' rights are being trampled. And government of Venezuela provides 62 new homes for the people of Grand Bay. The details coming up.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fence pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
First up in the news, a Chinese firm has asked government to go back to the drawing board as a 7-month interruption of the new National Hospital project continues. The government of the People's Republic of China is funding the project to the tune of 40 million EC dollars.
We would have met with the ambassador and the embassy and other officials from China about a month or so after Maria, 2 months, maybe 2 months after Maria. And we would have been asked to, we were told in fact that we needed to, as a country, to do our own evaluation of the project, meaning, okay, to get our engineers, mechanical engineers, structural engineers to assess the work already done. Of course, to go through the plans also and to look at the work already done. They would do the same, and then we could now sit at the table. Because clearly, while we know that the hospital was built, as I said, to withstand major hurricanes, clearly Maria would have taught us a lesson that we have some, I wouldn't say major tweaking to it, but we have some adjustments to make as far as the functioning of the hospital is concerned, especially as it pertains to power, energy, and even water supply.
Hurricane Maria struck during phase 1 of the project.
Maria would have taught us a lesson that we really need to improve, and improve quickly and drastically as far as storing water for essential services like the hospital after major disasters. So these are two aspects. So while the new national hospital would have had some aspect of solar energy, I don't think it was going to be done in any substantive way to make a difference, to be able to have the hospital running after a major storm. And of course, we need to have not just the hospital, our health facilities running before, I said during, and even more importantly, after these major events.
In more news now, Prime Minister Skerrit says some people may have to leave the comfort of their homes if they are to survive natural disasters.
The Prime Minister told a contract signing ceremony for construction of 62 residential units in Grand Bay on the weekend that coming out of the Tropical Storm Erica and Hurricane Maria experiences, this is no time for people to gamble with their safety. Petro Casas damaged by Hurricane Maria will also be rebuilt using blocks and concrete, making them more resilient. The Prime Minister says government has decided to acquire land in Grand Colibri to facilitate construction of homes for people from Mountain, Grand Colibri and Tetmon. Grand Bay has so far received $1.4 million for home renovation. This week, an additional $2.3 million will be transferred to the village councils in the Grand Bay constituency for re-roofing and other retrofitting work. The Prime Minister has expressed gratitude to the President and the people of Venezuela for the extraordinary commitment to fund the Geneva Center Housing Development Project. The Prime Minister noted that the Venezuelan government had committed the funds notwithstanding their own economic challenges. He says that speaks to true friendship and solidarity.
General Secretary of the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union has issued a call for unity within the labor movement, saying a house divided among itself cannot stand. Leah Shillingford says it's all well and good to celebrate Labor Day or May Day, but she warns against forgetting the past and the sacrifices made, including those who died for the workers' rights we enjoy today.
I think in 2018, this year, we should actually take a very hard look at the past, where we are now and where we should go. Last year, I did try my utmost to send out an article and to the media on exactly the situation that we're experiencing today. Only the New Chronicle published that article, and I did not get any response from my colleagues in the trade union movement. It again states that unless the heads come together, the trade unions in Dominica need to come together so that we can plan new strategies, new tactics, and to look at a positive way forward for trade unionism in Dominica.
Shillingford believes Dominicans on a whole should celebrate May Day and not just unionized workers. She spoke at the annual rally organized by the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, commemorating Labor Day, or May Day as it's otherwise known. Meantime, head of the largest trade union on island has suggested that trade unions are not serious about forming a congress because for some of them, their houses are not in order.
Thomas later has thrown his hands up, pointing out that he is satisfied that the Public Service Union constantly tried to spearhead the formation of a trade union congress to no avail. The failure to establish a trade union congress was among major concerns highlighted at the PSU's recently held delegates conference.
We worked, that is the Dominica Public Service Union, we worked with 2 other unions trying to see whether we would have this Congress established. We did everything possible. There was somebody, one of our colleagues from one of the other unions was supposed to work for those who not supposed to work rather with those who are not yet on board, and that did not yield any fruit. So the members of the delegates at our conference, they say for historical purposes they want it to be established that this union, that is our union, we tried extremely hard. So a resolution was moved to that effect and accepting, that is expressing our dissatisfaction that in spite of all our efforts, that the others were not on board, they never came on board as they should.
He has called out the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union and the Dominica Amalgamated Workers Union as affiliates of the Caribbean Congress of Labour to put action to their words. Later is the first vice president of the CCL.
The Caribbean Congress of Labour is the one pushing for the formation of a trade union congress. We, that is the PSU, we took a decision that any other union that needs any assistance to be qualified to be on the trade union congress, we are willing to work with them. So the truth and the fact is that we were expecting the DAWU, the Dominica Public Service Union, and the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, at least to be those 3 unions at the helm of forming that trade union congress, and others would have come in after.
Later says there are conditions that have to be met to form a congress, a reason he thinks trade unions are dragging their feet.
For you to become and remain a member of the congress, you'll have to present your audited financial, that is your annual audited financial statement to Congress. Some unions, as we know now, their finances are not being audited at all. You would have to show truth of your membership, because your membership will depend, or the number of delegates you will have in that trade union congress will depend on your membership. So you would have to show where you represent people and your true membership in every area. That you would have to provide to the Congress. You would have to show that you are having elections, and every year you would have to provide, every year, every 2 years, whatever the case may be, in our cases every 2 years, you would have to provide the Congress with the result of your elections. You know that there are trade unions that do not even have a general meeting, much less for annual general meeting or biennial conference. So I believe for all those things, people are not interested in a trade union congress because they know that their houses are not in order.
In other news now, the new minister within the Ministry of Housing and Lands, Johnson Drago, believes he is well placed to advance government's agenda or housing agenda post-Hurricane Maria. Drago, a former Minister for Agriculture, took up new duties following a cabinet reshuffle last month. He says he is grateful for the experiences he has gathered over the years in public works and as a Minister for Agriculture for the last 3 years. He believes it will serve him well in his new portfolio.
This new portfolio coming out of Hurricane Maria, where matters of housing is the most important matter at this time, it is giving me an opportunity to continue to serve people. Since I entered the ministry, I see people on a Wednesday up to 5 p.m. because housing is very critical. And with the kind of investment that the government is going to be doing or continues to do and is going to continue to do in housing.
Drago also made reference to additional housing assistance which government is expected to receive this week.
Government will be signing an agreement with the World Bank of some $60 million, of which $40 million will be for agriculture, for housing. So it's going to be for agriculture and housing. Some $40 million will be for housing. So I am privileged to be working with the Prime Minister in the Ministry of Housing and Land at this time, which is the most important project that the country is undertaking right now.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll continue after this break.
Do you need more cash for that home improvement? Then come to Fast Cash, where we give you more. At Fast Cash, our customers get more funds and more time to repay. But wait, can't come to us? We'll come to you, and our mobile officer will get you on your way. Small businesses, consumers, and taxi owners. Fast Cash has more for everyone. Simply call or visit any of our locations for more. Smarter, faster, better. Fast Cash. Terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. The local government department is reporting an increasing number of resignations from village councils in the wake of Hurricane Maria. Acting Local Government Commissioner Glenroy Tues says following the hurricane, several village councillors have left their posts for numerous reasons.
We've been having, though, a number of resignations, and some of that is people have left the island after Maria. And we would understand that, and some of those persons are persons who were elected. And so for those, we have had some by-elections. There's some people who, maybe for the stress of the Maria, they cannot really focus on councils and councils' activities, and so in good faith they're resigning. So we've had a number of resignations, and we have sought to have by-elections to fill those vacancies that have arisen as a result of that. In fact, very shortly we should be having a by-election in the Petit Souffrier Sansova Village Council. That should be happening sometime later this month.
Tues says by-elections will continue to be held to ensure the councils have their full complement of members.
And of course, we have had by-elections for deaf. Since Maria, we've had, well, one or two persons who have served at the councils have passed. So we've had to have by-elections for those deafs. In fact, one I can clearly recall is a councillor. He was a chairman, and that person was replaced. And so we understand, notwithstanding the situation and the circumstances and the challenges, that we do what we have to do to ensure that we importantly provide a service to the communities, to the country, and we do hope at the end of it that we can work collectively in making Dominica a better place for all of us to live.
The next village council election is scheduled for this week, and Tues says despite the effect of Maria, people are showing a keen interest in serving in local government.
We have the Sofia Scottsdale Village Council election, which is on the 9th. That's Wednesday the 9th. And interestingly, the 15 candidates for the elections. And what we've noticed too is, we've had to suspend, because since Maria, we had to suspend a number of those elections. And what we've noticed for a number of them, there are a number of people still, even for the elections, we have a number of people contesting. So that in itself clearly is a clear indication that people are still keen in being part of local government, and certainly mindful that the role that local government plays.
Head of the Waterfront and Allied Workers Union, Curtis Augusta, says he is concerned over the silence of the Labour Division in the face of what he says amounts to exploitation of workers at a leading hotel here. Augustus told the annual May Day rally at WOW headquarters Monday the challenges facing the unions, particularly in the private sector, are much greater following Hurricane Maria. The WOW leader says the call for representation has intensified, especially as it relates to layoff and redundancies. He says there appears to be a posture of exploitation of redundancy by some prominent employers in Dominica.
The provision of the law have been set aside in one case. For whereas the law provides for 6 weeks layoff, that employer have issued to his staff 6 months notice of layoff. Deafening have been the silence of the Labour Ministry and the Labour Minister in that regard. a leading hotel in Dominica, have elected to use the provisions of Section 18 of Act 8904 to deny workers notice pay in lieu of termination for reasons of redundancy. That very hotel has engaged in a strategy to reduce the rate or the pay scale of workers following recall after layoff. Picture this. A worker who was enjoying a rate of $6.60 per hour and 5 points for service charge before Maria, on recall by that hotel, is offered a rate of $5 and 2 percentage points for service charge. Isn't this exploitation? Because when you're recalled, you're supposed to be recalled at the rate that you were getting. But they're recalling you now at a rate that is much lower and service charge points that is much lower. That has got to be exploitation.
Augustus says the theme for this year's May Day celebrations, confronting the challenges of Hurricane Maria, appropriately describe what's happening in the current industrial relations environment. He says a number of employers are using the cover of Hurricane Maria to take measures which they would otherwise not take.
Workers are required to report to clean up the workplaces or be terminated. In a recent case, workers were invited to volunteer to clean up a factory infested with rat urine and rat feces, thereby putting the health and safety of the workers at risk. I must say, Labor Commissioner Dr. Matthew LeBlanc was assertive in stating on national radio, no worker should be terminated for not reporting to clean because they will not engage as janitors. The posture of some employers is cause for concern. For instance, the National Cooperative Credit Union wants to offer their female staff the equivalent of 4 weeks' pay for maternity leave. That was a provision that was provided in law in 1977, 41 years ago. It was under Act number 1 of 1977. The hurtful part for me is that it is being supported by women on the board and a former acting Labor Commissioner.
And as individuals continue to benefit from the pilot National Health Insurance Scheme, suggestions have been made for an upfront payment from claimants when the program is fully developed. Andrea Louis reports.
The pilot health insurance program was launched last year and covers mothers under 35 years and children 3 years and under. The government pays 80% of the medical cost, while the claimant pays 20%. In the first year of the program, the administering body, the Dominica Social Security, has noticed some delinquent claimants and suggests that, moving forward, measures should be put in place to ensure some form of upfront payment before the disbursement of funds.
As with everything else, Maria came and kind of derailed some of the efforts in that regard. But it's not something that is forgotten. It's something that we have to continue to work towards. And even as we speak, we have the Ministry of Health would have gotten back to PAHO and the Health Economics Units of UE in terms of what they presented so far, and asking for clarification and additional information in terms of timelines and things like that to further advance the process forward. When the full-fledged program comes on board, people will of necessity have to pay a premium, some contributions in some shape or form. We do not know exactly how that will be designed, how much it will be, but people will have to be prepared to make a contribution. because healthcare is very expensive, and you cannot wait for when the situation strikes for you to try to look for how you're going to get the money. If you contribute to the program ahead of time, when you find yourself in the situation, the program will be there to ensure that you can access the healthcare that you need.
The ultimate goal is to expand the pilot health insurance program.
We are hoping that when the full-fledged National Health Insurance Program comes on board, then there will be enhancements to that program. So therefore, not only the 3 and under will be taken care of, but all children, everybody. It's supposed to be universal coverage. So that's the whole intention of the National Health Insurance, that everybody in Dominica is covered for medical assistance or medical care.
The pilot health insurance program was funded with $5 million from the CBI funds. To date, just under $2 million have been spent under the project. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
And that's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
We begin with cricket, where the full squad of the rest of the World 11 to compete against West Indies in the Hurricane Relief T20 in May has been named. The team facing West Indies reads Ian Morgan, captain from England, Dinesh Karthik, India, Mitchell McLegan, New Zealand, Hardik Pandya, India, Teresa Pereira, Sri Lanka, Rashid Khan, Afghanistan, Luke Ranchi, New Zealand, Sahid Afridi, Pakistan, Shoaib Malik, Pakistan, Shakib Al-Hassan, Bangladesh, and Tamim Iqbal, Bangladesh. The Windies squad reads Carlos Brathwaite, captain, Samuel Badri, Riyad Emrit, Andre Fletcher, Chris Gale, Evan Luis, Ashley Nurse, Kimo Paul, Rovman Powell, Dinesh Ramdin, Andre Russell, Marlon Samuels, and Kesrick Williams. The match is being staged with the support of the Marylebone Cricket Club, England and Wales Cricket Board, and International Cricket Council to raise funds to rebuild and restore 5 cricket venues in the Caribbean that were damaged by Hurricanes Irma and Maria last year. The Hurricane Relief T20 is carded for May 31 at Lord's Cricket Ground in London. On the basketball scene, the sound of cheering as Blazers celebrated their win as Ballarama champion at the Honorable Kelvadaru Basketball League over the weekend. They did so by defeating Flow X-Men 15-10 in the final. The first half ended 10-6 in favor of Blazers. The 2018 Ballarama champion walked away with cash and other prizes.
We knew it would be tough because most of our players, as you can see, are not there, and secondly, since Maria, we haven't been playing as a team, first of all, and because there are no facilities, we can't really train. So we came together to this game. In the beginning was to get our composure, to make back a team, but unfortunately one of our players at the hospital who needs some financial assistance. So basically winning the 500 is a start towards helping him. The players already came together and put what we could. So actually the league here now is all for our player. Ricky Tues, he had an accident and he can't walk. So we basically try what we can to raise the funds to assist him. So that really motivated us to win this Ballarama.
Among the other notable highlights of the night were a 14-0 win for the ice cream team, which left no room for Dark Knights to score. And Old School only had 3 men on the court and fought valiantly against a full 5-man Pishneh Sports Club Falcon squad, but lost 7-4. Meantime, the main league sponsor said he was pleased with the quality of basketball displayed and is hoping the championship will help make up for the 8 months of no major competition.
Well, I'm very pleased, first of all, with the number of teams who showed up for the league this evening. We had the start of the Ballarama. You could clearly see that some of the teams, they lacked practice, but I'm sure within the next week and a half, the teams will be more prepared for the league games. Looking forward to the league. I'm hoping that we can see more competition. Of course, we have some of the top teams in Dominica being represented here in the league. And hopefully, as the league progresses, we will see the level of competition rise. Right after Hurricane Maria, we've seen a decrease in sport, but right now we can see it's beginning to build back, and that is the whole purpose of the league. And I'm very happy for what I've seen tonight, and we can only look forward to better things to come.
Each of the 12 teams present at the league's opening started off the competition with 3 points. Next up, head of a major local sporting group is reporting a notable improvement in athlete administration relationships. DOC's president Billy Doctorow recalls 2 experiences where an overseas-based athlete left an indelible mark on him that has been a major source of encouragement as he continues to serve all concerned. Tia Lafo was Dominica's first medaling athlete at the Commonwealth Games last month, and DOC's head believes the body's relationship with the athlete had a major part to play in her recent achievement.
There were 2 instances which really touched me, and both of them came from Tia. Whenever I recall it, I get very emotional about it, because Tia Lafo, she mentioned to me that she already had difficulties with the previous administration in terms of funding and the management and so on. And she told her mother she was almost fed up. And then when the elections were held, she told her mother, she told her mother, there were elections, but I don't think anything will change. So mother asked her, what were the results of the election? And she told her mother, well, there's a president by the name of Billy Doctorow. She didn't know me. She doesn't know me. And her mother told her, if I know that person is going to make a change. The other incident that really touched me was we went to their room. She and the other young lady, Mariah, were sharing rooms. And I went in there, speaking to them, just chatting and talking to them. And she was almost in tears. And she told me that she had never experienced that before, that the president of the Dominica Olympic Committee would have come there, sit on their bed, and talk to them with them. And immediately she told me, she called her mother, and she called her coach, and she told them, look at the difference. Look at the difference in terms of man management and how people relate to people. And those little things that are very important, and I'm not saying that we are totally responsible for their winning the medals, but I know that we contributed a great deal just in terms of the way we reached out to them and we managed it.
Doctorow said those experiences and positive feedback from other sporting heads served as further proof that the DOC's efforts are not going unnoticed. And finally, defending league champions Public Enemies has moved 1 step closer to winning the 2018 Guineas Island-wide 400 domino competition. They did so by finishing 903 points ahead to crush Rebels in a Game 1 of Sunday's best-of-3 finals at Runners Bar in Canefield. Final scores: Enemies 4,034, Rebels 3,131. Top players for Enemies were Delvin Esprit and Oliver Yankee with 1,425 points. Hezron Ambrose and Gifford John Lewis, 1,415 points, and Nelson Boston and Oliver Yankee with 583 points. For Rebels, Lisa Boston and Ian Roberts scored 1,714 points, and Jim Nelson and Oblom Joseph 719 points. Game 2 is scheduled for Sunday at Runners Bar in Canefield at 2 in the afternoon. That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Be sure to join us next time.
If you're HIV positive or have an STI, having unprotected sex with multiple partners puts them in grave danger. You will expose every partner and their present and future partners to HIV or another STI. Use a condom every time you have sex. You can live a productive life even if diagnosed with HIV. Remember, early detection is key to your survival. Be responsible, protect yourself and others. Help stop the spread of HIV and other STIs.
To end the news, the headlines again. The Chinese firm recommends plans for Dominica's new national hospital be taken back to the drawing board. Trade unions call for greater unity amid concerns that some workers' rights are being trampled. And the government of Venezuela provides 62 new homes for the people of Granby. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Julian Morris, thanking you for watching and inviting you to join us again tomorrow.